So top three, today is Friday, May 29th. We filmed the majority of this yesterday, but last night I'm going through Facebook talking about censorship and about social media's right to censor things and fact checking. So a kid I went to school with, Darren Coco, I don't know him, my brother knows him. They fact checked his post and all his posts said, is it realistic that we follow these CDC guidelines for going back to school? Facebook fact checked them, right? And put it over its things, screenshots are here. So you can see this. So I said, okay, I've seen this before, never on a local level of someone with no influence. Not that Darren does have any influence. I don't know what Darren does for a living. He might have influence, but I'm just saying he's not a Tom Brady. He's not a Michael Jordan, right? I said, okay, let's dive deeper and let's look at the fact check. The one fact check is political, an organization. I go, I click on the link, I read it. I couldn't even see Darren's stuff except for the first few lines. And it's pretty much what Political's article is saying. Change the verbiage around, very close, very similar. Then the next one is USA Today. I go to USA Today's article, as you can see here, link also provided, is go to CDC for the guidelines. So here Facebook slams, grays someone out, doesn't let you read the whole entire thing, and makes you go to two articles they want to send you to, one very similar and one that says go to CDC. What right does Facebook have to do this censorship? It's amazing to me that more people are complaining. These platforms are meant for people to be able to post their opinions, put views, target things. Their guidelines state you can't bully, hatred, all these other things. Now they're getting into the political arena and it's just not good. Think about it, people. It could be your voice one day trying to get a true message out and you're not being heard. I want you to think about that. Who is Facebook, Instagram, Twitter to decide who's right, who's wrong, who's fact checking them? Here you go, CJ, let's get started.
Hey everybody, and welcome to the Top 3 with the Lion's Den. Lance, how you doing today?
I'm doing great. How you doing, CJ?
I'm doing pretty good. You ready to get the show started?
Let's hit it.
All right, so I'm about to bring up something. I know you weren't expecting to talk about it today, but I have to bring it up. Trump's executive order. What are your thoughts? How is this gonna hit us on social?
What are my thoughts? I'll be very transparent. I spoke about censorship now for a long time. Everyone knows the big tech companies have censorship. I don't agree with them doing censorships. I don't agree with Trump's executive order either. So I think the issue lies with this. I think the law was made back in like 1996, protecting tech companies, saying in good faith they can censor things, do things. People don't want to mess with tech companies because they are the heart of the American economy, right? They pump, you see the boom, Amazon, Google, Facebook. I mean, these tech companies, giants, Twitter, they've been such an economic engine for America. So they got a lot of latitude, a lot of leadway. Now, you know, the censorship, even with the doctors during COVID-19 that came out and spoke about it, that all got taken down over and over again. Now Trump's been affected by it, where Twitter, I mean, has no right to say and try and fact check him. They have no right whatsoever. Have you ever seen Twitter or anyone fact check on social media before, CJ?
No, very, very, very seldom.
So now they're coming out and fact checking, making, well, for what? How do you know? He said mail-in voting would be scammed and that people would have fraud, right? There'd be fraud. We don't know if there will or not be, but who are they to say that? And that's the issue, where these tech companies are very liberal, which is fine. You want to be a liberal or, you know, Democrat, Republican, you're told to your views, but they're putting their views and their ideology on their platforms, and their platforms hold the keys to the castle for a lot of information, and it becomes very biased. So I think there should be rulings and controls and measurements in place where they're governed. All the tech companies, Google, Facebook, Twitter, every single one out there, every tech company, TikTok, all of them. I also think it shouldn't be done by executive order. I think that's abuse of power either. Now it hits his front door and now he's reacting like this. So that's my opinion. There should be no censorship. I've always said that. You know, I believe there's a lot worse shit on those platforms than his tweets. I can tell you that. Go looking at what's on there, and that's up there.
So you buy into the controversy, but not necessarily think we need to go full executive order. We just need for the platforms to kind of think a little bit before they go doing some of the censorship that they've been doing lately.
I don't think Trump should have the right to have executive orders. I don't think our governors should have the right to have executive orders. I think it's abuse of power. You know how I feel about our state being in the red still. I think it's lunacy, so.
Okay, well, let's stay on social media, but let's move into topic number 2. which is more about the audience. How, as an advertiser on these social platforms, am I targeting the right audience? We have a lot of customers that are asking this question, how do I know I'm hitting the right people when I put these ads out there?
The biggest issue is when people come to us, they just put ads up on Facebook, Instagram, LinkedIn, whatever it be, but they actually don't do any deep drilling of audience. They just hit their age group and gender. Really, that's it. There's so much more. You can actually put people's auto industries. Are they the owners? Are they small businesses? Are they homeowners? Are they not homeowners? What areas are they in? What interests do they have? All this information you can get from back of your Google Analytics and then apply it to social media and see what's converting and what's being used. And all you do is just take that data and build it out and literally say, okay, and you can also use your own data and say, build out cold audiences similar to that also. How do you find out you have your right audience? Number one, if you're spending money and if what you want to have happen isn't happening, you definitely don't have your right audience. Number two, are you thinking about every piece of content you're producing on social media? What do you want to have happen from it? Meaning, do you want leads from it? Do you want someone to buy your product? Do you want to build your brand? Do you want people to interact with your brand? Then you say, who are those people? What are those demographics? And you should have a lot of information, and you can deep dive into that and literally get so granular, it's insane, as you know.
Yeah, and I think a lot of times what people forget is the intent. So like you mentioned, you need to know, what do you expect that audience to do? So once you know the audience that you're hitting, you really want to make sure that you know what the intent is. Do I want them to purchase something? Do I want them to make a phone call? Do I want them to fill out a form? So it's not just about selecting the right audience, but it's putting the right information in front of that. So kind of trailing off of that is topic number 3. A lot of people watching the Lion's Den and listening to what we have going on here, they want to know about their customer list. Can I target my customers on social media?
Yes.
I know this is something you
like. Yes, I mean, I'm all about data. It's amazing to me how many people I say to them still today when they come to us, or Bill, right here, Matt, can we just export all your emails, your QuickBooks, anyone you've ever done business with? No, why would you want that information? That's the information you want. That's the gold. That's the gold. You're going to lower your cost per lead. You're going to actually have a better audience out there. It's more similar. How artificial intelligence works, CJ, you know. They look at all these demographics and all these interests that these people have, and then they actually match them over here with people that don't know. Those people have a better chance of buying from you or doing business with you because people similar to them already have. And Google, Facebook, all these companies know to put you in front of these audiences if you can give them the correct signals. The problem is nobody wants to invest in data segmentation. What do we have? 4 full-time employees doing our data segmentation?
Yeah,
4
absolutely.
Full-time employees. And people are like, you have 4 full-time employees. I'm like, of course. Why would I not invest in our own data and make sure our stuff is done properly so we're hitting the right audiences? Most companies might need a person part-time, half-time, whatever it may be. You can actually break it down versus your existing customers, build a cold audience based off of that. Existing customers, you can be in front of them by just brand recognition, keeping them in your funnel, not letting them go anywhere else, updating them what's going on, good information, good video at very low investment. Yes, to answer your question directly, CJ, you can do so much with this data, so much information. It's insane what you can do, and people just don't utilize it still today, especially the small and mid-sized companies, which you have to start using your data. I mean, the old saying, I'm old school, you're going to be out of school if you keep saying I'm old school.
Yeah, moral of the story, use the data you have, use it to your advantage. And I think we can agree that censorship is no good, but abuse of power isn't either. So thank you everybody for joining us in the Lion's Den. This was your top 3. I am CJ Bachman. Thank you, Lance.
Talk to you later.